Let's go over my master recipe for a double loaf pan sourdough country loaf. Switched to doing the double loaf pan, especially going from Dutch ovens to this, mostly as a reason due to quantity and capacity for my sourdough micro bakery. For Dutch ovens, I can at best run 2 Dutch ovens at once in an hour. Even with the half sheet pan trick where you take 2 out after the first steam bake and then switch them around at the end, I can only basically do 3 loaves per hour. With this double loaf pan method, I can do 10 loaves per hour. The recipe kind of follows a typical process. Feed the starter night before, get you to about 100 grams of starter for this recipe. Next morning, mix in your water and your starter, mix it well together, drop in all your flour and salt at the end. Then mix until shaggy and then let it rest for 30 minutes. We're going to do our first set of folds. Let it rest another 30 minutes. At 75% hydration in this recipe, I'll typically require at least 3 to 4 folds. I kind of let the dough tell me. If it's feeling extra slack, I'll give it an extra fold. This is the final set of coil folds right here. You can do stretch and folds if you want to. I just like keeping a nice tight top on it. It lets me kind of tell how tight and developed the dough is getting. Once you finish this rounding off, I usually like to check my dough temp. I like to keep it in that 78 to 80 degree range. With 77 to 78 degree dough temp range, I usually shoot for about a 4.5 hour bulk ferment. This could change a little bit if you're running more whole grains or not. It's like if you're running like a 50-50 loaf, a fresh mill, that would pull the loaf at 4 hours instead of 4.5. Just kind of let the dough tell you. Once the dough is risen sufficiently, I usually get about 75% rise out of these if I'm really pushing it. I'll go ahead and divide them out into 850 gram dough balls. I'm going to do a little bit of jalapeno cheddar. This is one way you can do inclusions. You can either put them in during the coil folds, or if I'm only doing 1 or 2 as an inclusion, I'll just laminate it in at the very end. Just stretch it out in a nice long rectangle, get a good even disbursement, fold in half, and just start laying your inclusions across. You're going to do the same thing when you fold the next section over. You're going to fold it over, lay more inclusions down, and you're going to roll it up into a nice tight ball. Then you're going to let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes, and then you're going to do your final shaping. Final shaping will largely depend on what your hydration and how slack your dough is. 70% and under, typically I can just do an envelope fold where you just fold in half, and just roll it up. With a 75% hydration recipe here with this fresh mill, it's a little bit harder to get it done, but I usually just do like a shoelace method. You'll fold half in towards, bring the side end to end, and just fold it up nice and tight. I'll have to do some more stitching if the dough is feeling more slack than the other. Especially with these inclusion loaves, the inclusions act like scaffolding, so you can get away with that half and half envelope fold. I'll drop it seam side facing up into a floured Banneton. I usually like to use these little hair nets and these braided plastic Bannetons just for price save. It's a lot cheaper than the wood pulp ones. For the jalapeno cheddar, I'm just going to do like an envelope fold. You can see how much more stiffer it is. That's all the inclusions just kind of holding it. Think of it like rebar and a concrete mixture. So just roll it up nice and tight. We're going to do the same thing. Flour the top. Then we're going to put it into a Banneton. For the final proof, I'm going to let it go into the loaf pan. This is also a little experiment. You can also proof just straight in the loaf pan. You don't need a Banneton basket or anything. Just put seam side down. I'll typically let it proof for about 2 hours or so at room temp, which this will also change with your conditions. After they've proofed quite a bit and they pass the poke test, I'll put them in the fridge for anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. After that point, I'll preheat the oven to 425. Because that's what the safe range of this loaf pan is. This is an Amazon Basics 9x5. This works really well anywhere from 850 to 900 gram for like the base dough recipe. Once everything's preheated, I'll drop them in, score them up. Then we're going to cover with an identical 9x5 tin. This will help trap the steam during the initial part of the bake. Works just like a Dutch oven, just much, much lighter. I'll bake 25 minutes, lid on, 425. Take the lid off, and then I'll bake an additional 20 to 25 minutes. Sometimes I'll even open bake, especially if they're like plain loaves. The inclusion loaves, if you're having a little bit of ooze of cheese and stuff, I don't like putting that in the wire racks in my oven. Yeah, 99% of the sourdough I make is in this loaf style shape. I did a poll with my customers and 90% preferred a loaf style shape. You get more uniform slices end to end. You don't have a short stumpy piece at the end. You get more usable slices all the way through. It's hard to argue with the results. We sold everything out of this market a couple weeks ago. Hope you enjoy this video. We'll see you next time.